Here's my opinion on it. Tell me if you disagree.
Okay.
The goal.
I disagree.
I haven't even said it yet. You know why you disagree?
I'm sorry.
Because
I'm probably
I
annoying
said
everybody. Go ahead. Go.
the reason why you disagree is because I said goal. Let me use another word.
Go ahead.
You had an emotional
I'm sorry.
reaction.
No, I did. I was just trying to be. It wasn't funny. I'm sorry if I'm annoying everybody. Go ahead, Troy.
You're not annoying.
Go
You're
ahead.
you're a delight.
Go ahead.
Every time you've come on the show, like my show blows up.
Just go.
Welcome to the Kindling Fire. My name is Troy Mangum. God is preaching a sermon to the world through people's lives. People's experience, history, and testimonies all point to some amazing attribute of God that you too can experience. I interview revolutionaries, fire starters, and troublemakers. This podcast is here to be a voice of encouragement in your life. A voice that says with God you can, and with God you will step into the abundant life. So let's get rolling.
Hey, this is Troy Mangum with the Kindling Fire podcast.
Hey, Troy Mangum. This is Kathy Mangum with Married and Having Fun podcast. Welcome back to all our listeners. You are in for a special treat today because Troy and I are merging our podcasts.
We're having a podcast merger.
We're having a podcast shebang.
We're having a mashup of podcasts. We're having
Mashup.
a pod mash.
Anyway, we are here to answer questions that maybe a few people asked us.
Yeah, no, really. Hey, you guys, just as a side note, good job in having amazing marriages.
What?
We asked people, we're like, hey, you guys have any questions? They're like, no, we're good.
Yeah, that's okay.
But we're doing a Q&A of, we've done that. You know what's so fun about this is the last time that you were on the show, I was actually thinking about it on the Kindling Fire podcast show, was 2 years ago. We did a marriage one 2 years ago, which is nuts.
And you guys know why it's been 2 years since?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's been a rocky road.
Not the whole time.
I'm going to tell the truth. Y'all want to know what's up? Call me.
This is called the truth telling Q&A.
No, it's not.
You're gonna get into the
No,
thick
it's not.
of it.
We're going to lie.
Hey, listen, but we have not lying. We've been married 26 years. We just celebrated that.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And let me tell you something, peoples. Miracles do happen.
Yes, they do.
No, for legit.
Or
Legit.
legit.
So we do have some questions we're going to cover, and then we're just going to pretty much do whatever else we want because it's our podcast.
It's our podcast.
So we do whatever we want. We could sing.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
that I
missing
want
my co-host JC with me, but that's okay. She needed a good break, so
Yeah.
to my Married and Having Fun listeners.
Yeah, I know. We should have said that. So yeah, you're a co-host on that show, and JC
Yes.
is your co-host.
We co-host it together.
You guys are co-hosting.
We're the Married and Having Fun team.
So you guys actually been on the Kindling Fire when you guys were first launching your podcast.
Yes,
we had a little.
Yes.
We had a little.
Podcast merger. No,
Yeah.
actually, we were your guest that time.
Yeah. So, but this one's a total mashup.
I keep thinking of like Strong Bad. And we're doing a podcast mashup.
People have no idea what that reference is.
Well, I'm sorry if they don't.
You know what?
What is it
our
called?
sympathies.
What was it
Gosh.
called?
Homestar Runner.
Star Runner.
We're totally dating ourselves.
That's how
totally-
he talks.
All right, so let's go ahead and tackle the softball question. That's the first one. It's like, yeah.
What softball question?
The first one.
It says, how do you plan to shape adventure together?
Yeah.
Softball.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you should answer that one.
All right, well, why don't you pitch it to me?
Okay, Troy, how do you plan/shape adventure together with me?
Well, how do we do this? I think one of the ways that we do it is that we try to get out of our routine.
I have to pause this for a minute because I still am trying to wonder why you said softball.
Oh, because compared to some of the other questions that I don't know how we're going to answer that.
This is like a phrase.
This is like a freebie.
This is the slow,
Yeah, this is sort of like
underhand,
yeah, exactly. This is the
slow pitch.
Yeah, this is the easy
question.
This is exactly that's what I meant. It's
Okay,
the
because
underhand.
I was super like softball. Why did he say softball? That's what was going on in my head. Where's softball? It didn't say that in the question. I'm just wondering about, we never play softball.
First
Do
off,
you want to play softball, Troy? Have you
This
not
is-
been communicating this to me?
well, I'm not the
whole
best.
time. I'm more like, let's go.
I'm not the best
Jump on the
communicator,
trampoline.
so there's not necessarily. I'll probably do that. But this is a great example. That's a perfect Troy and Kathy conversation. You guys are in on it.
Yeah, that is. Okay, so go ahead.
So
asked
you
the
get
question.
out of our routine. So we had an anniversary coming up, and we were like, hey, let's go out to dinner. Like we never do that all the time. We never do that. So who planned the adventure? Was it Troy the Adventurous? No. No, I dropped the ball. Speaking of softball, I actually dropped the ball.
You didn't drop the ball. I just had a better idea.
She did have a better idea.
idea. I was just like, I don't want to go out to eat again.
You know what? You're right. It was a superior idea.
I mean, if you just need to roll that out.
Yeah.
there.
So no, the adventure was basically. You want to say what we did?
We went hiking. We went to this place that's like 2 hours from us. That's like almost going to the mountains, and was awesome.
Yeah, it
we
was
did
beautiful.
few hikes. We brought our dog. We did end up eating, but it was
a
more
special
casual, and this place we've been wanting to go to. So we
Yeah.
kind of planned all that into it.
Shout out to
When
the
I
table.
say plan,
yeah,
we
there's
planned
big
on
quotes.
going that day and eating sometime.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about that for a minute. So Kathy, how do I get into this? I'll just say it quickly.
Lord.
So the Italian phrase is el dolce
Oh, gosh.
far niente, which means for the love of nothing. And what it means is that when Italians go out, they say, "What are you going to do?" And they're like, "I don't know. Let's go."
And that's what I do.
And when we years and years ago we got to go to Italy, and it was just like she was like, I found my people. They don't plan, they just live in the moment. And so I'm a little bit more of a planner, like, well, let's do this or let's do that. And I've actually
Which is a
learned
good balance.
yeah, but I've learned one of the adventurous things for me has been going to places without a plan.
Yeah.
I know that sounds so
What's good is
boring.
that when we
Gosh,
go
that sounds so
somewhere,
boring.
Troy has an idea of where stuff is and everything. Then he had to learn to kind of
Relax.
relax during it and not get to the next destination. Like, oh, we might find something to do here or there. That wasn't necessarily in the plan, but awesome.
Yeah. So one of the ways, if you tend towards planning, create an adventure by just experiencing something without a plan.
Yeah, or do something that isn't your routine. So if you're normally going out to dinner, and maybe food needs to be in that, but maybe I was like, oh, we could just go do something, and
Yes.
not make it around dinner. Because by the time usually we go out to these places that is like a big meal, it's like that's it.
And I think the do something is key. Like hike, do actual physical
Bowling,
things.
ping pong,
Ping pong,
go
right?
play pool,
Lawn
play-
darts.
go play video games. We're gonna do that soon.
We are going to do that.
Yes, we are.
I saw a place we could do that.
No, I saw a place we could do that.
No, I saw it.
it first.
I saw it first.
And I saw it first a long time ago when I went axe throwing. It was right next to the axe throwing place. Remember, I
Okay,
told you about it a long
fine,
time ago.
fine, you
I'm just
win.
kidding.
Lord.
Anyway, so that's how we do it. We do think about it. So there is a thought about, oh, we need to break out of the monotony. Let's do something else.
Hey, so
and being willing to do that. And also the other thing we did, which my listeners know about this, and yours probably don't, is
I know,
the
mine
Adventure
are completely
Challenge
ignorant.
book that I got you for our anniversary last year.
Yeah, say something about
So I
that.
got the Adventure Challenge book and for our 25th anniversary, so we pull that out and it gives you random things to do. So I don't want to give away mysteriously random things to do, but it will give you, like, if you need a babysitter, if it needs to be a certain amount of time, if it needs to be during the day, warm weather, cool weather. So they give you
Parameters.
yeah, but you just got to commit and do it, and that's been fun.
Yeah, so just to be clear on that, so basically it's a hidden activity that
Yeah.
they give you clues to prepare, and then you scratch it off with like a coin, and then you have to commit to whatever it is.
Yeah.
And one of the things that actually was fun, there was a ton that were fun, but one that was particularly fun for us was we got to play different characters.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It was a go to 3 different restaurants.
You don't want to give it away.
Oh, that's right. Well, anyway, we got to act like people we weren't, and it was just fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And so we'll
there's
just leave it there.
Yeah. But we were both committed to do whatever it was.
Yes. Here's the other thing I want to say about adventure. Shared adventure, shared experiences. If you go to things you both have not experienced, it actually is a cool adventure because you both experience it. Sometimes when somebody's been somewhere before and they're like, I want to show you something, I'm guilty, it's a little bit different. Whereas sometimes when we go to...
It's not necessarily bad. You don't have to feel guilty about that. Gosh,
me and my guilty conscience. But anyway, but going to something you both have never done. You've never done it, and you try it out, and you're like, wow, we got to do that together. So that's actually adventurous.
Yeah, that is.
Good or bad. I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
That is good, yes.
All right, cool.
All right. How do you align sexual expectations in marriage, Troy?
How do you align? Okay, number one, you got to talk about it.
Yes.
I mean, legit. And to be quite honest, I was the one that was probably like, I don't want to talk about it because I was all weird.
This is very true.
Yeah, but that, like, just on a basic level, talking about what you want or how often you want or whatever.
How are you feeling about it?
Like, these are foundational things.
Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, sex is important. I totally agree.
Well, yeah. Yes. And,
100%.
And
No,
also
I mean,
the expectation.
Yeah.
Expectations can be...
Tough.
Yeah, we've talked about that on our podcast a lot. And what...
You want to give us a little tip?
I'm trying to remember what we talked about expectations about, and then, like, maybe you need to rethink your expectations and putting expectations on people that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
And, you know, just shifting that. But you don't know unless you talk.
Yeah, I think that...
it needs to be a good place to talk.
What do you mean by that?
Like, by yourself, not with, like, kids that can interrupt. And because you could be in the middle of something and it...
Yeah, get rough.
It's always good to, like, set a way.
So I think this is one of the things that...
Place a way.
Here's my opinion on it. Tell me if you disagree.
Okay.
The goal...
I disagree.
I haven't even said it yet. You know why you disagree?
I'm sorry.
Because
I'm probably annoying everybody. Go ahead. Go.
The reason why you disagree is because I said goal. Let me use another word.
Go ahead.
You had an emotional reaction.
You just... No, I did. I was just trying to be... It wasn't funny. I'm sorry if I'm annoying everybody. Go ahead, Troy.
You're not annoying. You're a delight.
Go ahead.
Every time you've come on the show, like, my show blows up.
Just go.
People love some Kathy Mangum. I know, gosh, I can speak. So, all right, here's the deal with sexual expectation. And I want to see if you agree or not.
Okay.
The goal, let's say we have different expectations, all right? Fine, you have different expectations. The goal is not for you to say, meet my expectations.
I see where you're going with this.
The goal is to come up with an expectation that both of you are like...
Together.
That you're like, yeah, okay, that's it. Whereas I think sometimes that one of them can be like, no, like, I have this expectation and I want you to meet the expectations. And then we're good. Which is a very one-sided kind of, like, thing.
That's not fulfilling. Like,
mutually fulfilling.
Yeah, sometimes you have done that to me. Like, I know you want this or this or that. And I'm like, that to me is garbage. Like, I don't want that. I want us to be together on it. Do you know what I mean? Have that mutual expectation. And
so the goal, I think, is to come up to, so there might be some compromise and you're like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's awesome.
I just want you to know, I'm working very hard to keep this show clean. Do you can see my... No, it's good. All right. So
you know, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
No, I know. I'm going to start pulling out some music and making everybody uncomfortable. So.
Hey, but I will say this, just as a side note.
Okay.
Name of your podcast first was Married and Having Sex, just to be clear. That is the name of the podcast. And then people kind of got a little squirrely about it and they changed the name. But the point of it was
it did
we
help
need
us
to
change
talk
our name too, so we could broaden to we talk about a lot of stuff.
But the point of it was people are uncomfortable a lot of times talking about sex.
Baby.
And especially women, I think. But
you think? I think men sometimes.
I think...
What is your expectation? I'm just kidding.
Oh God, you didn't put me on the spot. I think that the short of it is, if you guys are talking about it and like really being honest, really telling the truth, you're on your way. But if you can't even get there, God help you.
And listen,
Legit.
it took us a long time where there's some things. So
Yeah, no, there was.
All
yeah.
full disclosure. Yeah, unfortunately. So talk about it sooner.
Yeah, no, amen. So I'm going to actually I'm going to take this next one because I want to see if it's actually true. That's the thing I want to, okay, so here's the deal. So you guys know that I like John Eldridge and he's great and all this stuff. Well, he wrote Wild at Heart. Well, he's got this thing in Wild at Heart that talks about this is what women need. All right, so this is a guy telling another guy what a woman needs. It sounds legit. Like I'm not questioning it, but I would
together, don't you think?
Oh yeah, probably. But this, I want to vet it, right? I want to be like, look, you're a woman, and it's saying this is what you need from a man. So here's one of the guys asked me, hey, ask your wife about these things. Like, is this really what she needs? Let her talk about it. But the assumption was, yeah, this is what she needs. And I just want to, and here are the three kind of questions in a woman's heart. All right, I'll just go through the three, and and then we'll kind of come back to it. Will you pursue me? Do you delight in me? And will you fight for me or us?
Yeah, those are all really good. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, ding, 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 John, you win.
Yeah.
And so just talk about it from whatever you want to share. I'm thinking of like, okay, we have both sides of the question, so maybe how can I help your listeners and how can you help my listeners?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we're like talking about it from we got to kind of switch gears.
Yeah, so I know it would help my listeners probably from a man's point of view.
Yeah, and then I'll share.
How can they communicate this to their husbands? Like, what's a good way to go about it, maybe? If they're like, yeah, I want him to pursue me still, and what is it? Delight in me, fight for me in our marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I think women want to be pursued still. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. I like it. I also actually always play a game with Troy, like.
Oh boy, that's the truth.
Are you I don't even know how to call it. We have this thing.
She keeps me guessing.
That's the game.
She keeps me guessing. She keeps me on my toes in our relationship.
So, yeah, I definitely feel like women still want to be pursued because that happens a lot. Men get the catch and then they stop, and a lot of women feel like they still want to feel pursued because if you're pursuing them, that means you're attracted to them. You still want them. You're still like all these things.
Yeah.
So, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And that falls into the delighting.
Yeah.
Because that shows you delight in them. I mean, that kind of all is tied together. They did good. Good job, Eldridges.
Yeah. And what about the fighting?
Yeah.
But what does that look?
Like
what
not
does that
giving
look
up.
like?
That's being willing to communicate. Being willing to probably on both parts. Like with women, I talk about a lot of times women will have certain ways they do things or want things and da-da-da-da-da. And it's kind of like, do you need to maybe rethink that? Like there were times when you had the kids, when it was younger, when it can be whatever. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be uptight about certain things. They're good. Everything's good. And actually, in turn, you actually would always make sure like the house was clean before I came home.
Right.
But how you went about everything with the kids was not like micromanaged by me. It probably was at the beginning. Like it was probably more like, oh, make sure of this or that. But then after a while, it was kind of like, do you think that? Did you see that? I remember when I made that shift. It was.
I'll be honest, I was clueless.
You probably were. But hey, women see the power you have. You make the shift and they don't even know it. You just can work your magic.
No, that's all good. I think, is there any other thing? I think, okay, so what I heard you say from a fighting standpoint, like I heard the other one, so it totally makes sense, but it's about enduring, not quitting.
Yeah.
Like pushing through, instead of being like, we have a disagreement and I'm one and done. You know, I'm not going to go at this again. I'm not going to try again. I'm just going to just walk away from this.
Yeah.
So some of the fighting for us or you is enduring sometimes when it's difficult.
Yeah.
And not quitting. Is that
and
accurate?
And also still pursuing.
Yeah.
That kind of all, I can
it's all
see
related.
how this all circles around each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something else for fighting, but what do you have to say?
On these?
Yeah.
So,
or from what can my listeners?
Yeah, so, man, that's tough. Why don't you add, what part of that? Just, or I'll just come up with stuff, but I want to make sure that
I do a podcast, but sometimes for me words are hard.
But
I'm trying to gather my thoughts for.
You know what? You can do it in sign language. It's fine. It's a podcast.
They'll get it. I don't like if you're a guy.
Yeah.
You see all these things that women want. How did you take that? Did you ask me any of these things, or did you just do them when you found out about it?
I probably didn't ask.
Yeah, that's true, actually. This has been a whole thing.
Yes, I did not ask. I said, okay, what does pursuit look like? And I think for me,
you would have probably went around about it for a long time a certain way.
Yeah, probably.
No, you did it. Not
but I think
in a bad or wrong way. It was always.
For whatever reason, I just want to validate that I got the woman, now what's on to the next thing? Like that is a legit, whatever that is, that's legit. And I think some of the coyness that you had in our relationship where you're just like, hey, like I'm here, but I'm maybe, like you're just going to ignore me. I'm not going to be, what's up? And you would always, you were always kind of putting me in this position like,
well, no,
I need to be
kind of
pursued.
like you got to make those decisions.
Well, but what I was doing is you did a very New York way, but it was sort of like, hey, I need attention. I need things from you. And so I started to be like, okay, look, I need to be intentional. I don't need to just be like, oh, whatever. Whatever I feel. It's just like, no, if we're going to go out, I need to plan to go out. If we're going to do this, or I'm going to do this for you, or get you flowers, or whatever, be kind like, and I remember being very intentional about it when you were like wiped out, when the kids were like draining the very life out of you. And I would try maybe to do extra things, right? Serve you in some way just to try to get stuff off your plate.
Yeah.
I remember doing that. Now, I don't know if that helped. You might have been like, I might have liked flowers more than the dishes.
No, to me, some things are just like, yeah, you're just doing part of them.
Yeah, I know. I was looking for points hardcore. This is just like what we're all
supposed to do, right? But some people, that's their like love language. It's just not mine. To me, it's like, yeah, this is like, we all have to do this crap.
We're all in this together. Basically, the way that you would always communicate to me was like, hey, we're all in the family, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
So we kind of were not heavy on the women do this, men do this when it came to
well, we have
diapers,
some of our
additions or whatever. I mean,
we have a little bit of some things we do like that are.
Yes.
But we'll hop in for each other. Like I'll hop in.
Yeah. We kind of work that out somewhere along the way.
Somewhere.
Yeah, really. So, I don't know if that helps. Is that enough?
No, is there resources if, like, say my listeners who are mostly women are like, oh, this is cool. How can me and my husband kind of dial into some of this information?
Oh, right. Soon. I'll start here. For men, Wild at Heart. For women, Captivating. That's kind of like the women and female version of Wild at Heart. And
the male and female version.
What did I say? The women and female?
Yeah.
I'm killing it on this podcast. The male and female version of Wild at Heart. It's sort of like, what does a woman need, what a man needs, things like that. And then they did something together as a couple. John and Stacey Eldridge is who I'm talking about. Did something called Love and War.
Yeah.
That might be a good place to start. I would say with that recommendation, I remember you reading some of it and you're like, nah, this isn't working for me. Like, you didn't really like Captivating, you didn't like Love and War. And so, for me, while the heart was like...
It could have been a stage that I was into.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But, so I don't want to just blanket say, oh, you're going to love
That's
it.
true. That's
Because
true.
I think there's some women that have, and they love it.
They did love it.
And some women that don't.
Yeah.
And for Wild at Heart, I've known a lot, most men tend to resonate with it.
Yeah.
And it does help them think about women in a more, in more of the grand mystery and adventure that God has created your wife to be.
That's good.
So it's a little more like epic
Yeah.
than do these things.
Yeah.
Be a good Christian and do the duty.
Yeah.
It's more of a look at the adventure and the mystery of God
Yeah.
has given you and your wife, and pursue that because it's a grand adventure. And that's been my experience. You've been my grand adventure. It's been great. No, legit.
I
like
bet I have.
No, no. There is something that our mutual friend of ours, Michael Thompson, said, and he said, a lot of what God is up to in marriage is teaching men how to love. Mm-hmm. I think women are better at it.
Yeah.
And men need help. And if they can be a student of their wife and learning what is loving, tone of voice, everything, timing, keeping your word, some basics.
Yeah. Basics, that is true.
Some foundational things that help with love and trust.
And wife learning their men, and men have to, be willing to communicate too.
Yeah.
To help them know.
So I'm gonna be honest. One of the best resources that we ever came across was Love and Respect.
Oh, that was a good book.
By-
I think I've talked about that on ours.
By a weird name guy, Recha.
don't know.
Just do what's it
It was
called?
called Love and Respect.
Love
that
and
was probably
Respect.
one of the best merit is about getting on the wheel of women want love, men want respect, and then if women don't feel loved, they're not being respectful, and if men don't feel respected, they're not showing
being loved. Yeah.
and you gotta
The vicious cycle.
Yeah, somebody's got to.
Somebody's got to break the vicious cycle.
Yeah.
It is the most profoundly true and biblical marriage book I've ever come across. Legit.
Yeah. So, I shifted a little. Somebody asked me today, they just found out I was married 26 years, and they said, oh, you've been married 26 years. They're a young, newly married girl I know. And she said, so what's the advice you have? Like, what keeps it going? 26 years, wow, And so I'm just sitting there like, Of course, in my head, I didn't say that loud. And then I was like, she was talking about some things, and I was like, actually, I think it's forgiveness. That's what popped in my head. And she goes, wow. She's like, nobody's ever said that before. I've never heard that ever before. I was like, oh. So that's
huge.
Yeah.
You gave her a huge key in her life.
Well, me too. Like, I was like, oh, wow, maybe this sharing with people, sometimes you think people hear it all, whatever.
Yeah.
So I know that's something we've talked about before. I think
for
together
sure.
when we've done podcasts,
Yeah,
we've talked
we have.
to JC and I talk about it.
Yeah. So I think one thing I want to have a share is.
You want to have a share?
Yeah, I want us to have a share, and I totally blanked it out. No, it's coming back to me.
What is a share? Like we have share time?
Yeah,
Or
we're
we
gonna have share time.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of like story time, but it's shorter.
Share time. We're gonna share. You're gonna share something out of your heart, Troy?
I am always sharing things out of my
I
heart.
know.
They're just like
You
gushing. So okay,
to share.
so we've been married 26 years, and I think the thing I wanted to talk about was kind of keeping the spark. Oh, this is what it was.
Sparky.
If you've been married this long, you guys might realize, or if you've been married less, when things are good, like life is wonderful. Like the grass is greener, the flowers are brighter.
This is how it is for us. Some people are different.
Okay, for us,
Can you imagine that?
I know really. All you people that are different, we don't get you. But for us, when the marriage is good, everything is better, legit. And when the marriage is bad, like it just seems like everything sucks. Bad. Terribly. So, that being said, I'll just throw it to you. Okay, you ready?
You were doing the share spark.
Hold on. You'll be fine with this. Keeping a spark.
Keeping a spark.
Yeah. Keeping it like where there's a heartbeat there in the marriage.
Yeah.
You know? Do you have any advice on that?
I think for me, I refuse to let it. I'm like, if we're married, we're married. Like, we're doing this together, it's together. So instead of shutting down and starting my own thing, which I could do, or you, or whatever, it's just getting back on that same page. I feel like I lost my train of thought.
No, but I totally know where you're going, because we've had this conversation multiple times,
Yeah.
which is basically you can drift in your marriage into little silos.
Yeah.
And you just drift into those corners, and you're still married, but you're really just about other things in life.
Yeah.
Both of you are. And it takes intentionality to say, no, we're going to be together.
It's just like me and you have different things.
Yeah, we have our own podcast.
We have different things and different
wear different
activities.
clothes. We wear different clothes. I want to be very clear on that
We
point.
do wear different clothes, but sometimes we just match every time we walk out the door. I don't know why. We must like the same color palette. So now I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I was trying to make a joke, and it totally did. It like
fine.
landed like a lead balloon.
But I am the type, I can't, if I feel like we're not vibing or something's off, it just I don't like that.
It's terrible.
Or I'll be like, screw it, just screw it all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you an example.
Because for me, it's important. Like, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life and enjoy marriage and all that. And so, yeah, it's important for me for us to not be totally separate and do stuff and make sure we talk about whatever it is going on.
And one of the roads to reconciliation, guys, hear me out, is not having a hyper serious, come to Jesus, we must be reconciled right this second, regardless of the timing, if it's good or not, moment. I recommend sometimes have fun instead of dealing with some heavy deal. Because in having fun, you create an environment where, maybe we can have a conversation, but you're not like, ugh. It's like over.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to have fun if that's there. I'm like,
I agree. But I'm saying that I'm trying to address this sort of like, you must always attack this thing. I think there's a timing issue.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like there's and so sometimes it's like, maybe it's time to put your foot off the gas and go about it a little more relaxed way towards reconciliation. That reconciliation happens in that environment.
Yeah.
Versus, kill everything and fight it out or whatever. It's just, I don't know if that's always the best.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you're thinking about, maybe I'm giving bad advice.
No, you're not giving bad advice at all. I'm just. Give me an example. I need an example of what you're talking about. Maybe they need an example.
Yeah, so, I mean, we had fun. We had fun recently, right? In Beaufort.
Yes.
Yeah, we had fun. We went down there to have fun. It wasn't great going down there. Like, we weren't great.
No, we weren't.
No, we were quite piss poor, actually. But in going down there with the intention of spending time together and just being together, having some fun, there was
Talk about things that may happen.
Yeah, really. It kind of eventually kind of like the oil of just, the gears were grinding, there was like, it was just friction, but we went down there like, hey, we're going to have fun. And then in having fun, it kind of like loosened up the gears to be able to have some conversations that were not fun conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
But.
And getting away too helps.
Yeah. Getting away. But we were like, that was an intentional move.
Well, we had planned to go there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we didn't cancel it.
True.
Is more of the truth of the matter. We didn't cancel it. We're going to go.
Yeah.
And doggone it all, I was going to see the horses no matter what. If you had to be with me.
Yeah, by the way, there's wild
well.
horses in Beaufort, North Carolina.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, then it did.
So last words for me. I'll give you my last words as well. Your audience.
Why don't you start?
All right, you guys, Married and Having Fun audience. Kathy is awesome. You should totally listen to everything she has to say. JC is so cool, and you guys have done such a good job. You guys have been at it for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I know you've built a great community and stuff. So if you're a lady listening, go check it. And you haven't heard of Married and Having Fun, go check out the podcast. There's some great episodes.
Yeah, and Troy has an awesome podcast. Has a lot of awesome things to say, and guest on his show, and he gets people he thinks is awesome.
I do.
And
like Kathy Mangum.
And he has them on his show, and it's usually pretty cool, pretty epic. So yeah, this was fun.
Yeah. So that's it for the mashup, guys.
Thank you to those who gave us questions. The chosen three, maybe.
Yes. You chosen three.
Yes, thank you. It helps give us content. Your question.
Yeah, that totally. All right. Thanks for. I guess we can mutually thank each other.
Yes,
Let's
thank
high
you.
five. Let's high five right there.
No, let's not, because that might hurt their. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Until next time.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. Hey, if you did like it, it would be really helpful if you want to send us a review over on iTunes. That would be really cool. And if you want to connect, go over to Instagram, search Troy Mangum or The Kindling Fire, and we can connect there, and that would be a great way to kind of stay in touch. I am doing a YouTube channel, so we do video formats of these podcasts, and we'd love to have you look there. Okay, guys, until next time, be awesome.